students, welcome back to chemistry class. In the previous class, we have discussed the physical properties of metals and non-metals. And today, we are going to discuss the chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Before we are going into the chapter, let's familiarize what is reactivity series of metals. Okay, you can see a series of elements I have written here, and I have put an arrow from top to bottom. Okay, so what happens to this metal when they reacts with something else? This is what we are mainly discussed. So, according to this, you can see that on the top you can see potassium metal, and below you can see silver and gold also is there. Okay, this is highly reactive and this is least reactive. Coming from top to bottom, the reactivity decreases. Okay, so today we are mainly going to discuss two important chemical properties, two important reactions of metals. Okay, let us discuss the first, that is reaction of metals, reaction of metals with oxygen. Reaction of metals with oxygen. Okay, what happens? These metals reacts with oxygen. Who is reacts vigorously? Who is least reactive? This many things we are mainly discussing in this module. Okay, so when we talk about the reaction with oxygen, you can see on the top potassium, sodium, etc. They are vigorously reacts with oxygen. When you keep it in an open mode, what happens? Automatically, it will catch fire. Okay, that is why we have stored it in a kerosene bottle. That is why we have stored it in a kerosene bottle, because they vigorously react even if you keep it in a open air. Okay, so let us check what happens to these metals. Since potassium and sodium is very dangerous, they are stored in a kerosene bottle. Let's see what happens if potassium reacts with oxygen, means reacts with air. Definitely you will get potassium oxide. Potassium oxide. Okay. You know why I have balanced this? So this is the LHS part and this is the RHS part. The elements in the LHS side should be equal to the elements which are present in the RHS side. Okay, that is why I have balanced. Potassium is a metal, reacts with oxygen and produce potassium oxide. So what happens if you take magnesium? So magnesium if you take, make it to react with oxygen, you will get magnesium oxide. So this also should be balanced. Okay, 2 MgO, 2 Mg. Okay, and if you take other metals, if you take zinc, Zn is a symbol of zinc, reacts with oxygen, you will get zinc oxide. Should be balanced. Okay, look at those reactions of coming from top to bottom. You can see, when you look at the reaction, you can see that if whatever metal from this reactivity series, whatever metal if you take, which one reacts with oxygen, so the product which is formed is the corresponding metal oxide. The product which is formed is the corresponding metal oxide. If you take potassium, you will get potassium oxide. If you take magnesium from here, you will get magnesium oxide. If you take zinc, you will get zinc oxide. Or if you take lead, what happens? Symbol of lead is Pb. Lead, what happens? You will get lead oxide. That is PbO. PbO. Should be balanced. Okay, students, generally you can say that every metals reacts with oxygen to produce metal oxide. So you can generate an equation. What? I'll write this, and we can make a general equation. What is that? Metal plus oxygen. Metal plus oxygen will give you the product. It is metal oxide. Metal plus oxygen gives metal oxide. This is the general equation. Okay, this is the general equation. Any metal if you take, the product will be same, that is metal oxide. The product will be metal oxide. Okay. And now let us see what is the nature of this metal oxide. What is the nature of this metal oxide? Okay, you will get different metal oxides like potassium oxide, you will get sodium oxide, you will get calcium oxide, and you will get magnesium oxide. Okay, the corresponding oxide you will get when it reacts with oxygen. So what is the nature of this metal oxide? So in the earlier classes you might have learned that, in the 7th standard you might have learned that what happens when you burn a magnesium ribbon. If you burn a magnesium ribbon, you can see that what happens? Burning of magnesium means magnesium plus oxygen will give you magnesium oxide. The ash, the white color ash, that is a metal oxide, that is a magnesium oxide. What is the nature of this magnesium oxide or those metal oxides? You can generally say that all the metal oxides, means most of the metal oxides are basic in nature. Remember this point, basic in nature. How they are basic? If you take the magnesium oxide ash, the white magnesium oxide ash, what you will get? Yes, if you dissolve this magnesium oxide, that white color ash, into water, you will get magnesium hydroxide, MgOH twice. Magnesium hydroxide. All the hydroxides are bases. So generally you can say metal oxide plus water. Metal oxide plus water will give you metal hydroxides. The metal hydroxides are bases. The metal hydroxides are bases. Okay. And how you can generally say they are bases? How you can check it, the presence of basicity and acidity? If you take a red litmus paper and if you dip it in the magnesium hydroxide solution, you can see that the red litmus paper turns into blue. If a red litmus paper turns blue means the corresponding solution is the base. That is why you can say that whatever metal oxide you take, when make it into react with water, you will get the corresponding hydroxide and the hydroxides are base. Okay, that can be tested by using a red litmus paper. So what are the points you should remember when we talk about reaction of oxygen? So most of the metal reacts with oxygen to produce metal oxide. That is the first point. The second point is what? Metal oxides reacts with the water to produce metal hydroxide, and the metal hydroxide are basic in nature since they produce the base. Okay, and try to by heart this reactivity series also. The second chemical property, let us discuss reaction of metals. Reaction of metals with the water. Reaction of metals with the water. When we react those metals with water, there also you can see potassium and sodium reacts very vigorously. But when you coming down, you can see these metals never reacts with water. They never reacts with oxygen also, since they are least reactive. Right? So you know what happens if a piece of sodium, when you add in a cold water, what you will get? You will get the corresponding sodium hydroxide plus a gas, it is hydrogen. What happens if you make a piece of potassium into a water, a cold water? You can see potassium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. The upward arrow indicates the gas is hydrogen. This gas is very dangerous. It will catch fire. Let us see what happens if you add a piece of sodium into water. Okay, I will show you a video. There you can see how vigorously those two metals react with water. Okay, what you observe, you know how fast they react. So they cannot keep it in the open air. They cannot store in water. That is why they stored in what? Stored in potassium and sodium stored in kerosene. Why? Why they are stored in kerosene? Because they both react with water and produce the corresponding hydroxides or the corresponding oxides, and along with it may produce hydrogen gas. The hydrogen gas leads to catch fire. In order to avoid, we use stored in a kerosene bottle. So the answer, if the question comes, why sodium and potassium stored in kerosene bottle? That time you can say that they both react very vigorously. Vigorously means sudden reaction. Okay? And the reaction is highly exothermic. The reaction is highly exothermic. Exothermic means which produces heat. Because the hydrogen gas burn automatically. Okay, it will blast out. So as a result, sodium and potassium stored in kerosene. Okay, and coming down you can see what? Coming down you can see the reactivity decreases. Calcium is not that much dangerous like potassium and sodium. They also react with water, but they are not that much dangerous. But aluminium also. And coming down you can see they are not at all reacts with water. But they will react slowly with water. Let us check one more. Check what happens if calcium reacts with water. Definitely calcium will produce calcium hydroxide. Calcium hydroxide. So children, whatever metal you take, they make it to react with water, the corresponding hydroxides are formed. So generally you can make a definition. What? Metal plus water will give you metal hydroxide. Metal hydroxide. By heart this equation also. If you by heart this equation, you can automatically write the chemical equation. Okay? This is what happens when a metal reacts with hydrogen, you will, water, you will get the corresponding hydroxide. Whatever metal you take, the corresponding hydroxides are produced. But in the earlier case, you can see that metal reacts with oxygen, their metal oxides are formed. Here metal hydroxides are formed. Okay? In every case, you can see these two metals are highly reactive. That is why we have placed it in the top of the reactivity series. Okay? Okay, I hope you got a small idea regarding two chemical properties of metals. Okay? And let us find up today's session. We'll see you on next class. Okay?